Presently, look where NVLink will go. The figure texture is going to, scale out. Oh, what gives off an impression of being one mind-boggling processor called a GPU. Presently, we have many GPUs that will be cooperating. A large portion of these processing difficulties that we're managing now, quite possibly the most thrilling one, obviously, is deduction time scaling, which has to do with basically producing tokens at extraordinarily low inactivity since you're self-reflecting, had you recently referenced. All in all, you will be doing tree search, you will truly do chain of thought, you will in all actuality do likely some measure of reproduction in your mind. You will be considering your own responses. All things considered, you will provoke yourself and producing text to your, quietly, regardless answer, ideally in a moment. Indeed, the best way to do that is assuming your idleness is low, your inactivity is very low. In the interim, the server farm is still about creating high-throughput tokens. Hence, you actually need to minimize expenses. You need to keep the throughput high. You need to, right? Produce a return. Thus, these two crucial things about a plant, low inactivity and high throughput, are in conflict with one another. Thus, for us to make something truly incredible at both, we need to go imagine something new, and NVLink is actually our approach to doing that. Presently, you have a virtual GPU that has an unbelievable measure of failures. Since you really want it for setting, you really want a gigantic measure of working memory, yet have staggering data transmission for token age, all simultaneously. I surmise every one individuals constructing the models are very upgrading things pretty decisively, as David in my group pulled information where, throughout the course of recent months, we're somewhere in the vicinity. The expense of 1 million tokens going into a GPT-4 comparable model has fundamentally dropped 240x. Better believe it, as there's simply enormous advancement and pressure occurring on that side too. In the layer that we work on. Something that we care very much about, obviously, is the biological system of our stack and the efficiency of our product. Individuals fail to remember that since you have CUDA establishment, and that is a strong groundwork, all that above it can change. In the event that the establishment's changing under you, constructing a structure on top is hard. It's difficult to make anything fascinating on top. Thus, CUDA has made it workable for us to repeat so rapidly somewhat recently. What's more, I think we just returned and benchmarked when Llama originally emerged. We've worked on the exhibition of container by an element of 5 without the calculation, without the layer on top truly evolving. Presently, a variable of 5 of every 1 year is incomprehensible utilizing customary figuring draws near, yet sped up processing and utilizing this method of code configuration. We're ready to create a wide range of new things. Definitely, how much are your greatest clients contemplating that compatibility of their foundation between huge scope preparing and induction? Indeed, framework is disaggregated nowadays. Sam was simply letting me know that he had decommissioned Volta as of late. They have Pascals, they have Ampere, all kinds of arrangements of dark wall coming. Some of it is enhanced for air loop, a portion of looking cool is upgraded. Your administrations must exploit all of this. The benefit that NVIDIA has, obviously, is that the framework that you assembled today for preparing will only be great for derivation tomorrow. Also, the greater part of ChatGPT, I accept, are inferenced on the very sort of frameworks that were prepared on as of late. Thus, on the off chance that you can prepare on it, you can derivation on it. As you're leaving a path of a foundation that will be unquestionably great at deduction, and you have total certainty that you can then take that profit from on the venture that you've had and placed it in a new framework to go scale with. You will abandon something of purpose, and you realize that NVIDIA and the remainder of the biological system will be dealing with further developing the calculation, so the remainder of your foundation works on by a variable of 5, in a year. Thus, that movement won't never show signs of change. Thus, the way that individuals will contemplate the foundations, no doubt, Despite the fact that I constructed it for preparing today, it must perfect for train. We know being perfect for inference is going. Derivation will be multi-scale. That is to say, you will take as a matter of some. You will involve it from manufactured information age. You will utilize the huge models to show more modest models and to distill down to more modest models. As there's an entire pack of various things you could do. However, eventually, you will have Goliath models right down to minuscule models. The negligible models will be very viable, not as generalizable yet entirely very viable. Thus, they will perform unmistakable tricks unimaginably well. That one assignment. Furthermore, we will see godlike errands in one minuscule space from a negligible small model. Perhaps, it's anything but a little language model. Be that as it may, minuscule language model, TLM, or, no difference either way. No doubt. Along these lines, so I believe we will see a wide range of sizes. Also, we trust it's that right. Only similar to programming today. Better believe it, I think in a ton of ways. Man-made brain power permits us to kick off something new in the fact that it is so natural to make new applications, yet all that about figuring has to a great extent continued as before. For instance, the expense of keeping up with programming is incredibly costly. Furthermore, when you fabricate it, you would like it to run on as huge of an introduced base as could really be expected. You would like as not to compose a similar programming 2 times. All in all, many individuals actually feel the same way. You like to take your designing and push them ahead. Thus, to the degree that the design permits you to, on one hand, make programming today that runs far better tomorrow with new equipment, that is perfect. Or on the other hand, programming that you make tomorrow, simulated intelligence that you make tomorrow, runs on an enormous introduced base. You imagine that is perfect. That perspective about programming won't change. NVIDIA has moved into bigger and bigger, suppose similar to unit of help for clients. I consider it going from single chip to, server to rack NV72. How would you contemplate that movement? Like, what's straight away? Like, should NVIDIA really do full server farm? As a matter of fact, we fabricate full server farms the way that we construct everything, except if you're building, assuming that you're creating programming, you want the PC in its full appearance. We don't construct PowerPoint slides in both the chips. We fabricate an entire server farm, and until we get the entire server farm developed, how would you realize the product functions? Until you get the entire server farm developed, how would you know your texture works and everything that you anticipate that the efficiency should be? How would you know it will truly work at the scale? Furthermore, and that is the justification for why it's typical to see someone's genuine exhibition be emphatically lower than their maximized execution as displayed in PowerPoint slides. Furthermore, and registering is simply not used to. It's not what it used to be. I say that the new unit of processing is the server farm. That is to us, so that is the thing you need to convey. We assemble now that. We fabricate something entire like that, and afterward weave for each and everything, each mix, air-cooled, x86, fluid-cooled beauty, Ethernet, InfiniBand, NVLink, no NVLink. You understand what I'm talking about. We assemble each and every design. We have 5 supercomputers in our organization today. 1 year from now, we will assemble effectively 5 more. So assuming you don't joke around about programming, you construct your own PCs. In the event that you're significant about programming, you will construct your entire PC, and we assemble everything at scale. This is the part that is truly fascinating. We construct it at scale, and we assemble it. In an upward direction coordinated. We improve it, full stack and end, and afterward we disaggregate everything, and we sell it in parts. That is the part that is totally, completely momentous about what we do. The intricacy of that is simply crazy, and the justification for that is, we need to have the option to unite our foundation into GCP, AWS, Purplish Blue, OCI. Their control planes, security planes are all unique, and all of the manner in which they ponder their bunch measuring is all unique. What's more, yet we make it feasible for them to all oblige NVIDIA design, so CUDA be all over.